Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to the All-Star Boxing Podcast. Really cool one because we've got our main man, Liam Wilson, and the team. They've just come back from America. And there's so much to really cover, but we'll try and keep it succinct and just breeze through this. But first of all, Liam, congrats, bro.
Thanks.
Awesome, bro. That's a massive, crazy effort. And to even see you, like we're on the day we were here watching the fight, like everyone was packed. It was crazy. And then we'll go into it later on, but as soon as you really put them on the floor, we were all just like, boom, we just let it rip here. I wish you could all kind of see it. But you're all in the world title corner, and we'll take it from there. But Liam, just quickly, where do you start? Like, first of all, how did this fight come about?
I was getting ready for the undercard of Tim Tszyu versus Charlo, and we're sort of in suspense of which fight was going ahead. We're waiting for the signing of Archie Sharp to sign for the fight, and that was just sort of dragging on, and we were about 8 or 9 weeks out from the fight date, and I got a phone call in the morning, and it was from my manager Steve at 7:30. He said, "How would you feel about the Navarrete fight for the world title?" He was supposed to fight Valdez. Valdez has pulled out, and they've asked if you want to jump in. I said, yeah, absolutely. And it felt pretty surreal, but I always wanted to be the world champion. I wanted to fight for the world title, and I knew I wasn't out of my depth there either. So yeah, we said yes as a team, and that was about 8 or 9 weeks out from the fight. So I already had a camp up my sleeve to get ready for it. And prior to that, I'd been training already anyway. So I felt like it was good timing, and just let's get on the road.
With this episode, because I want to try and rotate the seats, I want to give everyone a bit of stage time to really we'll introduce everyone knows who you are, but for those that don't, Benny, just tell us your affiliation with Liam, where it started, dated back, and then we'll bring it to this point.
So I've been coaching Liam now since it might have been 2016, I think it might have been. 30 or 40 amateur fights together. 13 pros, 12, 13 pros. So we've been together for maybe 8 or 9 years, something like that. And it's just gone from strength to strength, taking all the hard fights. He's been given some great opportunities through his ability to want the hard fights. And here we are in the opposite corner of a world title in Arizona. So it was a very proud moment for the club, and something that we all hold close to our hearts.
Yep. And yourself, Chris, just quick introduction, affiliation, and then your experience.
Yeah, just the same sort of length with Benny, just through the club, through Benny since Liam came here, just working with him through Benny.
Yeah, and you've seen Liam's development over the years to even see that this was now the world title fight, which really happens lesser and lesser here in Australia, because we're in a different part of the world where it's hard. Like, for even Liam to have a training camp the way he did, I don't see many other Aussie fighters going over there and setting camp up for 2 months to really make the most of this. So Liam was fortunate in that area, but that's because everyone backs him, believes in him.
Right.
He can do this.
Yeah, and you kind of create your own luck in that situation, because, as I said on another podcast or interview, that a lot of people would have just gone over there a couple of weeks before the fight, got a payday, come back to Australia and celebrated. But that's not in Liam's DNA. So he needed to go over there to get acclimatised to it and get the hard rounds in and put himself in the best position to be able to win the fight, which is the goal. We didn't go over there as an opponent. We went over there to win the fight.
Yeah.
Even though the stats on sports bet and all the rest of it had Liam as a 20-1 outsider, that wasn't in our mind. We weren't thinking that. You got A and a B side, but they're just letters. Once that bell goes, it's just two men, and the better man comes out on top. So
Yep.
Good experience.
So that was your 13th pro fight.
Yeah.
Now, that was a different camp because you spent it over there, and you were exposed to what it takes to be at the top. What was your experience like sparring those boys? Different?
It was completely different, like from just from the get-go. Like the training regime was completely different. We were involved into their session, into their training regime, that is, sorry. So the training regime was completely different. The sparring was completely different.
Different how?
Just, when we spar someone, like, it's very hard to get good sparring in Australia. So we'd do 10 or 12 rounds together with one opponent. Over there, I was doing two rounds with a new opponent and just cycling fresh.
Yep.
And they were against whoever, like up to middleweight sort of guys.
Yeah,
and
wow.
you know, like in hindsight, looking back, it probably wasn't the best thing, but you know, it was good work. And you know, the theory there was the trainer Barry said would fight southpaw, orthodox, tall people, small people, short, stocky, long range people, and all to create the Navarrete style.
Yeah,
and you know, make that very familiar with me. And so he had a good tactic behind it, and it was good. It's good to, and I definitely go back there. Just big eye open, yeah, big eye opener.
I think you're at that level now. Like, it's like, where does Liam go from here? You know what I mean? Like, that was his world title shot, and does he move over there, or does he spend more time there because the sparring's there? You felt the difference, America to the boys here. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what happens now, and that'll be future conversations.
Well, there's a few different options. You can. We've spoken about it. It might be something that Liam does. He goes over there outside of a prep. It might be best to do his preps here. Maybe each fight might be different. If he's fighting over there, he might be finish off over there. Like you can do it in different ways. He might start there, finish here. If he's fighting in Australia, he could start here, finish there. If he's fighting in America, you could bring sparring partners out to our gym, and we could spar. You know, we could bring a high level guy out, and we could do some rounds with, you know, people like yourself and the Australian level guys. So yeah, there's a bunch of ways you can do it.
Yep.
It was. And touching on that, I think that for me as well, the hard part for me was I'd go to each sparring session, and it's, like, I know we have to work together as a team and like with a sparring partner, but I always would make it a fight, and that's probably my biggest fault. It's hard to have that working relationship with them. It's just me in general, and as you know, in sparring, and I have been trying to work on that. Like going over there, that was the part I was sort of stuck in a rut with.
Yep.
So for 8 weeks, whatever it was, I had 3 fights a week.
Yeah, wow.
And it was that's probably looking back on it, that was the hard part.
And when you think about that, Skinny, it's like you can iron out all of those things along the way if you're taking easy fights. You know, you can work out that because you're doing the sparring here in Australia, and by the time you get to 20 fights or 30 fights, you're ready for your world title, you've ironed it out. But he's learning on the job because he's taken such hard fights.
Yep.
So we know it's in his makeup that he, especially when you go over there and you don't want to get put over. So you go into that gym and we hear all the stories here in Australia, and that you go over to them, whoever goes over there, they spar like, you know, they want that hard work and they go after it. So I mean, Liam wasn't waiting around to see what they were going to do. He went after it, and it ended up being good by the end. But at the start, he had to piss on the tree, you know, and say mark his territory. But by the end of it, they were, you know, we were one working team, and it was brilliant. They really were. They were phenomenal coaches. And
how were they? Were they you know, really letting you in?
Chris
and
could
just,
answer that. Yeah.
You know, become friends. Like saw something special. How was your guys' experience with the coaches there?
The coaches was great, and so were all the boxers over there. So, like Benny said, by the end of the camp, they really embraced him, and he was part of the team to the point where boxers from other gyms coming in, the expectation was for Liam to uphold that gym's name in those spars. The coaches really believed in Liam by the end of it. You know, they were on board with it that Liam was going to win the fight, and he'd won them all over by the end of it. But I think one of the big takeaways was that the big difference over there is our top guys are at the level over here. We just don't have enough. It's just a numbers game because the population's so big over there. They just have more boxers. Liam showed when he was over there that they're top guys, that he could easily hang with them, and the trouble was them trying to hang with him. So it's just a numbers game. They just have more boxers over there.
Yep. Nice. And like you said, with the sparring, trying to replicate a Navattete style, but when you were in there, and again, two different things here. When you were in there, you looked like you belonged there.
Yeah.
Like you looked smooth, you were with it, even though he was so awkward and like an orangutan. And like, how do you replicate the sparring when they're so awkward? And that's probably what makes him a world champion, it's just his awkwardness, because you were the cleaner boxer. Your counter punches were there, the speed was there, but he was just so awkward and rangy and just clubs.
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
Did you feel the power in there?
Honestly, I didn't feel too much. The power was no different to. I thought it was trying to be bigger punches than him.
Yep.
That wasn't the thing that got me was his range, because I heard
freakishly
about
long
I heard
arms.
about going into it. Like you'd hear about from fighters the commentary, and he had really long range for a shorter guy. And I was really like, wow, when he threw the first jab, all the looping punches, which were his dangerous shots, they were easy. I could see them coming a mile away. But it really looked like if he was trying to punch a straight punch in front of me, it was like this, looking like that.
It's like the way Liam explained it, which would make sense to the people watching at home, is that the punch comes directly at you, but it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's
It
weird.
just keeps cut. You're like, all right, it's going to stop, and the next minute you're getting hit with
Wow.
it. It's
Wow.
just got 5 centimeter reach on Liam, and
And it really put me up because I knew how close I had to get with my jab and stuff. But I felt like I was already out of range being at that where I thought I was safe. I was already out of range.
Yep, wow.
Because he's so long. So me getting close, I was dangerous to not only his long punches but his looping punches as well. So it did throw me off a little bit, a big bit actually. But it was just deceiving. Like that was the word. It was just super deceiving having a smaller, chunkier sort of dude in front of you and just so long.
Yep.
He when he dropped me as well, that was just me being completely off. I did not think he could hit me with that right hand.
True. And
I just didn't think he could.
Didn't stop.
I was like,
Wow.
bang. I was like, fuck.
yeah,
So,
he threw it so long, he nearly could have got you from
It
another
just-
half a meter away.
And seriously, I was like, fuck. Even my phone, I was like, oh. I just didn't think it was gonna get me, and I was just switched off. I wasn't braced for it, and yeah, he got me there. And it's all credit to him, and I think that's what's made him very dangerous as a fighter. Throughout his 10 years, or for his reign of being a champion, and
Dude,
big asset for him.
Huge. Now look, the whole, I don't know what was going on because we're all watching the weigh-in, we're all watching, what's happening, staying on top of the news, and then with the scales, all that was happening, and then we didn't know what was really going on, and then when we saw that you were 126 pounds, with a super featherweight being 130, and 4 pounds is 2 kilos, and you were somehow magically 2 kilos underweight, what was going through your guys' minds? Were you about to pull the pin, or was there like a debate, or what was going on?
Well, I remember when we first seen 126, I actually thought the scales must have mucked up. Then when we had about 20 minutes to sort of start thinking about it, because that's right, it's featherweight. He just made weight as well, and Matt Rose come into one of the locker rooms and said, "Is he here yet?" We were told we had to be there 2 hours beforehand, and he still wasn't there. So 10 minutes before the official weigh-in, and that made me start thinking like, yeah, right, he's not here because he's trying to lose the weight. And then
Well, the
A bit weird,
whole
yeah.
breakdown of the thing was there's not a hope in hell that he was 126. It's not that wasn't what it was, because 1 hour before we're up in the hotel room, which is 100 meters away from the venue, and he's had to do 2 salt baths and then wrap himself in the burrito and the towels to get himself down, and he was 58.9 on the money, sweet as, walk across, which is a 5-minute walk or less, not even, and then go and do the test, but it's not on a test scale. We were on those scales, the same scales on the stage. Get on there, and he was 58.7, I think he might have been, 58.7, maybe a little bit more, and go sit in a room for 20 minutes, come out, and then you're 57.
He was 3 pounds under half an hour before
3 pounds
on the actual scales that you weigh in on.
Yeah,
But the issue we had, you're against a machine like Top Rank.
Yep.
So when we're saying things like what's going on, Bob Arum's saying he doesn't believe in conspiracy theories, get out of here. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're up against the power.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, like
it's
you're up
just-
against a machine, so there's nothing that you can do with that. And it was the commission ran the weigh-in, so we're accusing the commission of playing with the scales. So we're up against the might of the commission plus Top Rank. So there's nothing that you can do.
yeah. And then on top of that, with the long 27 knockdown, 27 second knockdown. So, famously, first time Navarrete's down, drop him, scrambled, and then rep counts to 8, and then he drops his mouth guard out, and then the fumbling with this. I was just like, man, what a drag out, what a way to try.
Yeah, I thought it was over. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I thought that was it. I was about to walk up the stairs, and I was thinking, this is a piece of piss. How good's this? These world titles, they give them away. Oh mate, just hits him with the bomb, and we're going back to Australia with the silverware. But then the kerfuffle that it was, which was like a long count, puts the mouth guard in upside down. Yeah, it was just a bit of a was a bit of a piss take, but at the end of the day, if you're that referee in those split moment seconds, if you're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like I'd challenge anyone else to be in the ring at that time, but he is a professional and it's his job to do that. But we can't not talk about the fact that he wasn't on the spot either at the time when Liam put him down, and then old mate's glove was on the ground. Liam hit him on the ground. So if they had to stop the fight at that time, they would have protested that Liam hit him on the ground. But the referee's too far. He's got to be on the spot anyway. So there's a bunch of different scenarios that could have happened. Could have played out a million different ways, but here we are. I think Liam's stocks have risen massively from it. Everybody knows that he put in a massive effort against a guy that will be a Hall of Famer, as I said before, and it is what it is. We can't whinge, so much because we bring guys to Australia to fight Liam and fight our guys, and they're the B-side, and we don't want to hear their story. They don't want to hear our story. Move on. Like, what are we going to do? We feel like we got dudded. Ain't no one listening, so bring on the next challenge.
Yep. Wow. And and like I said, Liam's stock's risen now. I saw on the videos, top rank videos, with like almost 1 million views or something.
Yeah, well, the top rank, the fight on the top rank Facebook page had 11.1. I checked it the other day.
Crazy.
11.1 million views. The YouTube's got 500,000.
Yep.
Liam got, I think it was, he said 100 messages the next day in his Instagram in his other inbox, just from Mexicans and Americans saying how well he fought and how they want to see him again.
Yeah.
So his stocks have definitely gone through the roof.
How were you feeling in the corner?
I was fine. I was good. It was very comforting having Coach Barry there and Chris, as we always do. But we spoke about that leading in, how we were going to run the corner for the first 15 seconds as Liam come back. Barry was going to give his instructions, and then I was going to kind of build on that and interpret it to the way that Liam would understand, and add our own flavour. And it was fine.
Was it good having those American coaches in the corner?
Yeah, and I've spoke to some people that have watched it back, and they said, what's the go with those Americans? I didn't really like the way that was happening. I don't know how it looks. I haven't watched the fight back yet. I'm not brave enough to. I will. My time will come when I do watch it back. But it might have looked worse than it was. It was great. They were nice. Beautiful guys. They welcomed us. So they taught us a lot. They welcomed with open arms, and it was fine. It was seamless from my side of it anyway. I felt great in there, the way that it worked.
Yeah, nice. You're fully recovered, healed, everything?
Yeah, I'm all good. Like, I finished the fight. I had no niggles, thank God. My hands held up good, and I'll get back into training come Monday.
Get
ready for the next one, and it was a good experience. Like, I look back at it now, and I think just how it all played out, the scales, even the aura around the whole thing for me, I felt like it was nearly meant to be a thing, the way that, just how I lost. I would have felt if I was world champion at 13 fights in my career, I would have actually thought it come too easy. 4 rounds,
nice.
1 little left hook, and just all over.
Yep.
And I'm world champion. And I would have actually thought it was just too easy. I really would have. And I did feel like there was a weird aura around the whole night. I'd lay in bed like 3-4 weeks out, and I'd be saying like my little prayers and that, and I'd actually sit there and go, fuck, surely I'm not world champion in 3 weeks. I couldn't really put it to my head. Sure, I'm not world champion in 2 weeks. Sure, I'm not champion on tomorrow night. Wow. And it wasn't a disbelief thing, because I tried to win, and I did win. That's why I'm saying I think it was meant to be a thing.
Yep.
The drag out, and just the way that all happened. Like it's like I was not allowed to be world champion. I don't know why, and I'm glad I didn't, because I feel like if I did become world champion, I would have ticked the boxes to what I wanted to do, to be world champion for my dad. And it would have been hard for me to get back in the ring, and nice. It really would have been. So I'm glad I'm in this position that I'm in now. And even though I lost, somehow, and that's why I say I think it's meant to be a thing, it's worked out to be good. My stocks have risen, and I feel like this is the start of a new career for me. And and I'm going to come back with vengeance, and to be the better boxer, definitely.
You guys proud of the performance? Anything that you wanted to critique or anything?
Well, there's definitely always improvements that we can make, and we will. Liam, most people are making those improvements, as I said before, in their 20th and up until then. He's got to make these improvements in world title fights against future Hall of Famers in his 12th fight. This is where we need to work it out and make these improvements. So his ability to fight is put him in this position, and you get to fight for the big bucks and all the rest of it. So this is what comes with the territory. But yeah, we're all proud of him, and we know what we need to do to improve, and we will do that.
Cool.
And probably the big thing was, hats off to Navarrete. I think the big thing is this will be a big learning curve for Liam, because he saw someone that was out of it and used his experience and that ring craft and all his knowledge to get that extra time, to get that 27 seconds and to find a way to come back. And you can't buy that type of experience, and Liam has it now. So it'll be how he applies that into his future fights, and that experience will make him even more dangerous.
Yeah, nice. Any final words?
No, that's
We'll
good, mate.
rotate.
Appreciate
You all
it.
good?
Chop it out. Chop.
Yeah,
good?
no, I'm just saying. No, it's good.
Proud of you, man.
Peace,
Hey,
team.
good on you,
Appreciate it.
bro. Okay, so look, this, like I said, it's only just the beginning. It's
Yeah.
now kind of open up the next part of your career. So it's like, let's see what happens from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm excited for that.
Crazy.
It's weird, but cool. And exciting.
Yep. And for the club, this is huge for All Star. We'll all get to follow the limelight of Liam
Yeah.
and let the next batch come through too.
Well, he's literally paving the way.
Yep.
Because now the kids can see that. They can see
Yep.
that's achievable out of the little shed in the back of Launton. So, we've got a bit of a roadmap now. So we
Cool.
can keep hopefully producing them for many years to come.
Yep. Cool.
And that's what I said to a lady at the front. I said the biggest thing for me is and Skinner, as a young kid, I didn't really have anyone to look up to. Like I had yourself, Luke Howlett, a handful of boxers, people. But as time went on, I was the old guy in the gym, and everyone was looking up to me, and I wasn't looking up to anyone else. And I was in that position for a long time. I'm under Donny, and here in the gym now, you can see these kids are looking up to me, and they've got many years to do that. And I feel so lucky to do that for them. And just sky's the limit for them, I think.
Nice. And it's good that you recognise that position, because I know you're talking to the kids.
Yeah.
Kids look up to you like you're God, and then you just give them knowledge and wisdom, and so you're really helping them come through too.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro.
It's good feeling.
Nah, I'm
It's
proud of
good.
you, man.
I'm
Good work,
excited.
team. And we'll rotate from